Oh boy. Yeah, so I did the unboxing of these new MMI Cutlecrons, which is a play on words with cuttlefish and cron, or chronometer, or chronograph, or whatever you want to use for that abbreviation. But I just realized the Kickstarter is live and there's only like a few days left, 10 days left, 9 days, whatever, depending on when you looked at this, it's probably already over. But it got fully funded immediately, and I can see why. This is a very unique, cool, fun looking watch that's well built. So let's get into it. We'll talk about the size because that's one of the biggest changes with this that I think it's going to make it more universal for everybody that wants to purchase this. Because MMI had come out with a watch called the Dumbo that was kind of like a larger version of this, essentially. This is a scaled down version that's going to be more appealing to a wider array of wrist sizes, I believe. So the case width on this is 42 millimeter, and it's basically square. I mean, you might be able to squeeze out 43 millimeter if you count some of this right here, but it's concealed lugs, meaning the removable or the quick release spring bars are underneath the case. So most watch enthusiasts will, this is kind of familiar. There's been some other brands that have done something like this, but not in this configuration necessarily. I've never at least seen it done quite like this. The thickness, or rather thinness, is only 12.7 millimeter, and you have a single dome sapphire crystal up top. And then the lug opening here is 22 millimeter. Clearly, you can see this is on a nice H-link bracelet, short H-links, which will help with the size. Or on the bronze version, it comes on a genuine leather strap. I'll show that one a little bit more. This bracelet does taper down to 20 mil. Nice clasp. You can see a very smooth side. That means the micro adjust is actually on the fly available here. We just kind of in and out there. And then you have screw pins for the hardware. So you should be able to get a good size, I think. And there is an oil pressed case back with the cuttlefish on there, which is an interesting thing to see on the back. And it's pretty much sterile around it too, which is pretty wild. But it's nicely done, very smooth, no hot spots. They are numbered. This is number 1 of 300. You can see sapphire crystal, 150 meter, and then there's the name, 316L stainless steel. And then you can see the case back is actually held down with 4 screws. That's part of the reason it's probably 150 meter water resist. So you have ceramic bezel inserts, 120 click, very smooth, nice bezel action. Oh, I forgot to mention the crown. Check out the crown placement. Signed, loomed, tucked away in that corner and added with a little peak on there to match the other 3 corners. And that is a 6.9 millimeter screw down crown. It's a little, I don't want to say tricky or challenging. It's just different. You can still access it the way the case is shaped around it. So don't fret. You're still going to be able to operate it. It's just not going to be as easy as, crown placement on the side of a case. So, but it's worth the design look, I think. Awesome placement of that thing. And then on the dial, MMI is known for doing that date ring, kind of like a pointer date style, but it's a sandwich cutout. So you can see the little orange markers indicating the 21st. Applied markers, really nice handset, pop of orange, plenty legible. A little tricky to get the date on this thing, but honestly, it's no different than any other date window. So I don't have a problem with it, really. Let's pop this one on the wrist. These are super affordable. I'll put a link to the Kickstarter and the website down below. So again, when you're dealing with a brand that has a reputation of delivering a really good product, I know a lot of people will veer away from Kickstarter, but if you do a little bit of homework and you're looking at a brand and a cool watch, that Kickstarter could honestly be a way to get a better deal on the watch. So something to think about. Love this color configuration here. The brilliant yellow dial, pop of orange, and then it has the CUSN 8 bronze case. Really well done. Again, with the crown kind of tucked in there. Love the choice of yellow on this one. And again, bezel action, crisp. So that's what that one would look like if I fumble and drop it. Keeping it real here, I'm not going to edit that out. I didn't drop it, shockingly. But another thing I want to point out, 42 millimeter maybe will scare people away. And this is the smaller version versus the Dumbo. But what I want to show you is this Axios here is a 40 millimeter watch, okay? So this is 42, this is 40. And I got to just point out like how much that lug, that tucked away lug there, really diminishes the size. So, and the fact that it's kind of square, like it wears more like a 40 millimeter watch. So keep that in mind. Both, you know, whether you're looking for a watch that'll fit a smaller wrist or just smaller preference, or if you have a larger wrist and you prefer a larger watch, maybe this one might present too small for you. So something to think about. Maybe you should try to find the Dumbo or a larger watch. So I'm just letting you know it wears more like a 40 mil. Now let's give both these a quick blast with the UV light. Turn off the studio lights and experience one of the highlights of Microbrand, beyond the fact that it's flexible in order to do like weird date configurations or full lume dials, but typically extraordinary lume applications. And we have that here. So full lume dial on the yellow, which it blows my mind that we're seeing like orange dials with full lume, just weird colored dials with full lume. I love again, I've mentioned this many times for many different reasons, but this is one heck of a time to be a watch enthusiast in the fact that we have so many different variations, options, lume configurations, you know, the Microbrands where they're willing to experiment, and lume crowns, and I mean, just do all kinds of cool stuff that we didn't think or know that we wanted or needed, but here we are buying them all up. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.